Hi guys, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you guys how I use the Kat Von D Lock-It Foundation. You guys have all been asking me for it. It's a very simple tutorial, basically what I do with all my other foundations, but you guys did want to see this, I want to show it to you. I'm going to go ahead and get started with my normal routine with my face before I get to that point because this is how I normally apply it and I want you guys to see how that's done. So I always use my SPF 50 Face Protect Protection Massage by MAC. And I get just about that much, maybe a little bit more. This is my primer regardless of if it's summer or winter, just because it's really good at oil control, and even in the winter my skin does get oily, not excessively, but this is the only primer that I've ever used that I thought did a really good job with helping that. And I've already moisturized and stuff before. So now I'm not going to show you guys how I do my eyes or anything over my foundation. I just want to show you guys, well, a little bit over my foundation, but nothing, nothing like blush and stuff like that. But what I always do before I apply my eye makeup is I use my Urban Decay Primer Potion. I'm doing this because my next step is going to be concealer, and I don't do that without doing this first. I've also got on my under eye cream and all of those skincare type things that I do once I get up and wash my face. And now what I'm going to go in with is my Bobbi Brown Dark Peach Correct. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in so you can see this a bit better also. This is what it looks like. I've used almost all of it. It's in the color Dark Peach. And I always use a really small brush for this. This is the Samantha Chapman shading brush. It's meant for the eyes, but I use it for concealer. I just use this on the inner corner of my eyes because this is one of those products that can crease. There's nothing for it to crease on if it's just in this inner corner. And I find that that is what works best. If you use a very small amount, all over it can work also, but I'm not a huge fan of that method. You guys see what a big difference that made? Okay, and then what I like to do is go in with my normal concealer. So it's a Pro Longwear MAC Concealer NW35. And I use this under my eyes. And you guys can see how dark my under eye area is, like with my lid and stuff like this, but this really helps that. And it's going to look a little crazy at first just because I'm not putting on my foundation yet. But once that's done, it looks really good. I think this is where I get the most bang for my buck, in this corner. But this product is just amazing, hands down. Best concealer I've ever used. And I also do go over a little bit over the Bobbi Brown. Not much, because I don't want to take away the effect of that, but a little bit. And now I'm going to go in with my Lock-It foundation. So this is the bottle right here. And I'm just going to take my hand and just dispense a bit. So a little bit more than half a pump is what I use, and I think that is plenty. You guys will see as I'm using it, it's a very thick foundation. It's a foundation that you don't want to overdo because it will look really cakey, because it is meant to really cover. So I'm using this brush by Sigma right here. You can tell how much I've used, and you can see like the pigmentation of the foundation right here because of how dark this brush is right now. This is the F84. So what I like to do is take this and just go like that to kind of get it more on my brush in different areas, not just one. I'm just going in downward motions because if you don't work fast with this foundation, it is going to be a mess. So instead of using round motions where it can kind of be streaky, you want to use it in the way that if you couldn't come back and fix it, like it's gonna look okay. And you can see what a difference it's already made to my face. That's one side. This is in the color medium 62, by the way. It's probably my most similar foundation in terms of color to my Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Plus. That's color 65. I feel like they both have that sort of a little bit of an orangey color to it, which works well for me. But I don't tend to see that in a lot of foundations. Most foundations are going to be really pink or really yellow. This is neither, and that's why I think that it works so well. And so here is what that foundation does. now, with what's left on my hand, which is that, you guys can see just how thick that foundation is, I'm going to go in with a brush like this. This is the Sigma Precision Round P82. And I'm just going to go back over any acne or blemish marks that I have. This foundation doubles over really well as a concealer, so there's really no point in going over with anything else. And I think if you do it right, you can get a lot of color with this. So while that's drying, I'm going to go in with my concealer. This is a Radiant Creamy Concealer by NARS. And this is not my main concealer. I just use this to highlight. I think it does a great job with that. So I just do a couple dots at the corner of my eye like that. And it also helps to highlight my cheekbones without me having to really work hard at it. So I'm just taking a brush, like this one right here. This is a Sephora brush. It's the Airbrush Concealer. And I'm just going to go in downward motions again and then to the side. Just on the outer 1/3 of my eye. I don't really bring it in farther than that because that's where you tend to have lines and stuff like that, and this can crease also. But I can definitely see a difference when I do that. I think it makes a pretty big difference to my face. And so now I'm going to go in with one of my bronzers. This is the Chanel Soleil Tan de Chanel. I'm not 100% sure if I love this product, but I think it makes a subtle difference on my face. I'm going to see, I'm going to keep it, so I'm not going to like say this is the best way to do it, but it works for me. This is a cream product, so that's why I'm doing this now before I apply my powder. I'm just going to go ahead and contour the side of my cheek, just like so. I hope you guys can see a subtle difference. I'm going to go in upward. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and powder my face now that we have got an even layer of foundation. Everything it's gotten time to dry. I'm using my MAC Prep and Prime Translucent Powder, best powder in the world. And I'm going to use a big brush like this. So I'm powdering under my eyes, even though I really don't need to because with the Prep and Prime or the Prolongwear, it honestly you really don't need it. But what I'm doing right now when I'm powdering is just going to the areas that I know get oily. I'm not really going over my contour because I'm going to go back over with a cream. With a powder. So just really lightly like that. With this foundation, you do need to like press this in more just because it's a stickier foundation. And I sort of feel like it would transfer more if you don't really set it very well. Then I'm going to go in with my NARS Casino Bronzer right here, and I use a brush like this. This is just a MAC brush. I'm going to go back over the areas that I contoured previously. Just like that. And then you can go back in with your blush and whatever else that you like. But I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I will come back and show you guys the finished look. Hi guys, this is my finished look. It was really, really easy to do. I didn't want to take away the focus from the foundation to show you guys my full makeup. This is my normal work face really, and if you guys are interested I can show you how to do this. It's very easy. But that is my foundation tutorial. I'm going to be doing a review very soon, so definitely stay tuned for that. Thanks, bye.